Hello everyone, welcome to yet another insightful episode of Entrepreneurship. Today we are here with a leading woman entrepreneur and the director of CameraLK, Noeline Pereira Gunasinghe. A very big hello to you, Noeline.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, love.
Good to hear. So I always would love to start a conversation going back to the humble beginnings.
Yes.
So going back to the humble beginnings of CameraLK, we've heard Anushka Gunasinghe, who is your husband and
Yes.
the founder and CEO of CameraLK. We've heard that all of this happened through an unexpected tour in Singapore.
100%.
How did this happen?
So basically, he has a passion towards photography. So on the hunt of him actually wanting to buy a camera, so he was exploring the options that was out there in Sri Lanka to purchase a camera. What he realized was that there was a monopoly of the market where they had the distributor for certain brands, and these people did their brand. There was no customer service whatsoever, or like there was a huge gap of what the expectations were like and what was received. So he's like, oh my gosh, like this ain't happening. I'm gonna go out of the country and see what are the options that I could go for, because during the time it was much cheaper for him to take a flight and go to Singapore and purchase the camera and come back. It would have been the same price. So it was one of that, just what initiated him to go back. And when his friend heard that he was going to go purchase a camera from elsewhere, he was like, hey bro, like get me one too. So that's how it all started, and that would be the beginning, stepping stone of finding the opportunity.
All right, interesting. What kept the business going on for so long? Was it Anushka's passion for photography, or was it that you all identified the potential market?
I would say it's a combination of both, to be honest, because there was a huge gap in the market during the time. Say, for example, as a consumer do not think in abstractions, you know, and also they don't have the ability to envision a concept saying like, oh, this is what I would want from a camera store. You know what I'm saying? So there was a huge market in the sense there were no customer service provided, and the opportunity was there. There was a huge gap in Sri Lanka. A service provider wasn't here to give what a customer would need, or when a customer comes in where they could compare multiple brands at one store. It wasn't there back then. So I think that gave us the chance to come in, and us being very thinking wise, we are very different, I think, and we are in the new age. So I think it all kind of combined together, and that's how it all started.
All right. So when you all started in 2010, back in the days, it was only an online business, which was a social media selling point.
That's right.
And later on, you all opened your first showroom. What was the goal you all had, and were you all working towards a plan? How did that happen?
We were definitely working towards a goal. So the thing is, when you're an entrepreneur, I think it's really important that you have a purpose. You need to have a purpose, and you need to have a drive to achieve the dreams, right? So when we started, the goal wasn't to be like, oh, in 10 years' time, we did not think we'd be the largest in South Asia region. However, we knew that we wanted to be the best in the industry. We didn't want to be the first, but because they were already out there, but we wanted to be the best that was out there in the retail market for camera, for imaging equipment. So that was the goal. That's how it all started. And following that goal, we opened one showroom and to the other, and then it just kept on going.
Right. So let's talk a bit about the milestones that you all have passed with CameraLK.
So initially, we were just a small store with about 3 people in the beginning, and then we all came into place and we moved into a larger showroom, which was about 700 square feet. That was large back then. And then from there, the thing is, we were always striving to be better version of ourselves, right? So it was almost like we never had we were like, oh no, we want to be that person. It was never like that. We just wanted to be better than CameraLK that was yesterday. Till today, 10 years later, it's the same concept that we follow, striving to be better every day. And we believe in thinking long term. In the sense, I wouldn't say this is long term in the sense like this is not milestone wise, checklist wise, like, okay, this is the goal, we are gonna hit $1 million, like that's not the case. When I'm saying you have to think long term when you're in business, it would be, say that you're a customer, you come to me, you have an issue. If I don't solve this thinking long term, that would be a problem. By me solving the problem in a very precise manner, what would happen is you would come back to me, and I've made an advocate to my brand out there in the market. You'd be my apostle out there, you know, spreading the word. And that has been the success, like that has been the method for CameraLK, because till today we do not have any you know, digital, like what do you call, TVs or like no radio channels. We are not using any of those platforms for our marketing purpose. It's only been social media and word of mouth.
All right. So I think that is the key point that you all are driving as an organizational culture as well. Let's talk about the employees and the culture within, along with that concept that you spoke about.
So, yeah, very good question. If you don't have the right people, could break, or like this could break, or like whatever you want to do in business, you have to have the right people. Either it could like make the business, or they could break the business. So when we are hiring in the company, we always look into three main things. That is, number one would be integrity. Number two would be intelligence. Obviously, you need to know the subject. And third one would be energy. Super important. If you have like two, if you're like energetic, and if you have integrity, and if you're not intelligent, you're no good to me, you know. So everybody we have here, we hire everybody very, very, very carefully. So having the right people is really important, and treating them with genuine care, what has brought us here. Because say that Anushka and I have the passion to be the #1 seller here and globally, let's say. That's our goal, or that's our dream. If my backup team doesn't have the same vision, if they're this cynical bunch of people who are very selfish, it wouldn't work that way. Even if I'm not here, say that we are stepping out of to explore other options. If my staff is not there to drive to achieve their goals, I don't think it's gonna work. So having the right people can make or break your business.
All right. Now, talking about you, Noeline, we know that you were born and raised in Sri Lanka, and then later on you went to Canada for your higher studies.
Yes.
What made you come back and get into the business world and the entrepreneurship?
Love made me come back. All right. So that was the start, actually. So what happened was, back then this business was really small. It was taking its baby steps. It was about 2 years in the business when I came into Anushka's life. So it was online dating, online love, and then I came to see him, and then I fell in love instantly. And then it was a struggle back then, because like we had nothing, like we didn't have, like we lived in Anushka's basement for a while, not a while, for like about good 8 months. I literally have my travel luggages here. I was living through, like I had no even closet, like that's how we started it off, everything off. And initial plan was just because I had my, I was training for ABM, the assistant branch manager in banking there, and also I was gonna get into my real estate license. So all those were in place. So I had a solid backup plan in Canada if nothing works here, you know. So the fear of like us losing the game was never in our thoughts. Just A, we are like full of optimism, like all about that life, and B, we already had a backup plan. So the plan was, I came here, we wanted to try the business because Anushka was like, sweetheart, like, listen, I think there's true potential here. Then with the combination of my skill set, he's like, let's just do it. So we started doing it together, and then we are like, the plan is we try to work it for 6 months. If this doesn't work, we're gonna fly back and see what we could do over there, just because kind of had an income coming in, and you know, the backup plan was solid. It's like a good option B. Yes, contingency planning was a good one. So that's how it all started. 6 months down the road, we were able to open the candy showroom. We were financially stable like that, and slowly we moved out from the little basement that we were living in. We went on a little rental house, and that's how it all started. And 10 years later, we are here having the largest camera showroom in the South Asia region, and investing in other options as well now, you know, spreading our wings.
Yeah, I think that's what you say, together is the better option.
You know it already.
Now, you as the director of CameraLK, what are the future plans you have planned for CameraLK?
To be a global retailer, that would be number one. Number two would be actually, you know, with the pandemic situation, the future kind of, like we were expecting all the online sales to go high and everything to be online in like 5 years time, but with the existing situation, everything kind of escalated, and online business is like right here, right now. So we're already working for a 5-year goal to develop the online platform of ours, and kind of things came in handy just because we were already there. So to develop our online platform for the South Asian region would be our number 2 plan. And of course, being better than yesterday, like I always said, striving to be better than yesterday would always be our top number 1 priority. Even for future, yes.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a solid plan for the future.
Yes.
And along with that, you're not just the director of CameraLK, you are also an entrepreneur. You have your separate business going on. Let's talk about that also.
So, during the pandemic, we realized one business isn't going to do much. So, we wanted to complete, because like we've been investing in different things, more of real estate and stuff, but we wanted to come up with something that is completely different and something that I'd be truly passionate about. I love fashion, I love nails, I love getting all the glamorous things in life. So I wanted to start something of my own as well. So I recently opened a salon. This would be a specific, like a specialized salon where we are focusing on nails, body waxing, eyelash extensions, not just a regular salon where you go like blow dry hair kind of thing, but and even there, just like here, like we've had top-notch service, top-notch products, world-class products is what we are focusing over there. So yeah, I wanted to start something that I'd be truly passionate about as well. So I have that baby and this baby now.
Yeah, side hustle and main hustle.
All right, girl, that you know it already.
When we take you as an individual, Noeline, we know that you're wearing so many hats as a wife, as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman. If there's one thing that kept you inspired throughout your journey, what is that?
Having fun in life and enjoying what I do would be what inspires me the most, just because business is something that I don't think I think I'm meant for this. I think I truly am meant for this kind of thing, and like setting up goals and creating brands is my thing. And along the way, fitness comes there, being a part of the family comes into place, and all those little things I truly enjoy. And being happy is one of the utmost goals I have in my life, being happy and healthy. So for me to, in terms of achieving these things, I have to wear different hats, and having a loving husband that would let me do anything, you know. I'm gonna say like, hey babe, like I wanna open this, be like, sure, go ahead. So that would be the attitude, and then the freedom that I give to him as well. So likewise, so I think loving towards yourself, like you should truly love yourself and truly love others. And as long as you are joyful within, I think that's just the greatest inspiration that you have towards yourself and to achieve more things in life.
I would also like to talk about the women entrepreneurship. Back in the days, women entrepreneurship wasn't a trend, but now it is. You as a woman who is in the entrepreneurship, what is your thought about this?
See, I think the power and authority is not inherently determined by the gender. I think it's influenced by what the society has thought, or like the societal norm is what has influenced or determined what the gender, like what this gender's role should be, right? I think culturally here, that's what it is, but we've come a long way. I don't think we should even say or think where we think, women are like less powerful in the managing field or to be an entrepreneur. If anything, I think women are more capable just because we can multitask. That's like, everybody knows it. Men cannot multitask. I'm sorry, recording guys, men can multitask, but like, you know how as women, we can manage multiple things at the same time, and with much precision and with much care. And with whatever we do, we put an emotional connect, like we do have an emotional connection. And I think that's what future holds. Like if you do not have a emotional connection towards your employees, to your customers, or to what you do, you can't really be successful in anything for that matter. So I don't think power and authority is based on or determined by the gender. It's not the case anymore. If you have a drive, it does not matter if you have long hair, short hair, what gender you are, you could just succeed.
All right, now coming into the final segment, I would like to ask you your advice to the entrepreneurs out there, or to the individuals who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs. What have you got to say?
Well, whatever that you choose to do, you have to have a true passion. Just because you have money, and if you have the money or the capacity to invest on something, just don't do that. Just because in the long run, that wouldn't be sufficient and successful. That is not just enough to be an entrepreneur. You have to be truly passionate about your, whatever that is. Like, whatever, it could be like for you announcing, that could be a passion, right? So truly be passionate about what you're doing and have a purpose. You have to have a purpose of whatever, you know, have the purpose, and always dream big. Or do not be afraid to dream bigger. Just dream bigger and bigger. Just never settle. Like, no matter where you reach in life, just do not be like, all right, I've made the money, I've got the car, I have the house, now I'm good. No, be restless, strive to be better every single day. And also when it comes to developing your business, always hire the right people. That is, I cannot stress this point like enough, because having the right people is key. That when that happens, only you'd be able to explore more options out there and reach into other avenues in the same business or whatever, you know. So number one advice would be have a true passion towards what you're doing. Have a drive, like you just need to have the drive to follow your dreams, and always think long term. Always think long term. You don't have to be the first, but you have to be the best.
All right, I think that's a solid message which came out of her heart itself throughout the struggles and the journey she has gone through. I felt it, whereas she just expressed it throughout. So thank you so much, Noeline, for joining with Entrepreneur LK today to share your insights. We are here to help to build a community of entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. So thank you so much for your insights today.
Thank you for having me. I had such a wonderful time, and I wish all the best for you guys as well. And the entrepreneurs out there, go right in, dig in, and explore your dreams.
And we wish CameraLK and you and your family also all the very best.
Thank you very much.
So thank you everyone for joining with Entrepreneur LK with this episode. We shall see you soon with another.